tonight.
Okay, I'd like to welcome everyone to the regular scheduled council meeting for April 11th. We just came out of our budget workshop. Call to order. This meeting has been properly advertised and posted in accordance with Public Law 75, Chapter 231. May we roll call, please?
Mayor Gepetti? Here. Antonisi? Here. Clark? Here. Dash?
Here.
Galloway? Here. Heist?
Here.
Hesse?
Here.
Timbers?
Here.
Wright?
Here.
Ritchie?
Here. I have a motion to approve the minutes from March 14th.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, anybody from the public have any comments on the agenda items only? Going once, twice, step on up, sir. State your name and your address.
Ben Risley, 2058 Liverpool Avenue. This is resolution 26 and 27. About the tax exempt.
Yes.
Why?
26 and
They
27.
were on the agenda the last meeting as well, but
Right.
Cincinnati
But I
Avenue.
mean, why?
the attorney can explain.
Yeah, but we keep giving, I mean, they show nonprofit, but the tile company's from South Carolina. It's a nice building here, so we give it away, then the taxpayers got to pay that $10,000 of money that we're not getting.
These folks registered, as a nonprofit corporation, legitimately
All right.
with the state tax assessor went out to check both properties to make sure they were actually being used for the nonprofit as specified to the
Mhm.
state. And so he certified it as, exempt as of January 24.
Mhm.
And so this resolution, so in other words, it's already done. So this resolution is simply to take it off the books by the tax collector, which is law.
Yeah, it's, I mean, listen, it's a little ridiculous that we got to pick up the taxes for other things. I mean, there's paved driveway, there's a building there, companies from out of state. I mean, something's got to change.
So are you talking about Cincinnati? You're talking about both?
Yeah, both, all of them there. The
So-
other one's a vacant lot.
Right, yeah, so Cincinnati is the vacant lot
Right.
next to
So I
it.
mean, what's to stop me from making a nonprofit?
And it's been a topic of discussion for the past 24 hours at least, if not longer.
I mean, I can understand if they are conducting their business there and for the nonprofit, then they can get a tax break on it. But if they're not, then they should pay tax like everybody else. It puts a burden on the city.
Correct.
And we should
Steve,
we should be placed with that burden.
it's too late
So
for that.
that's all.
So going forward though, Ben, the tax assessor and I have had lots of conversations. And so going forward, will pay particular attention to these two properties. But also any tax exemption that comes through the city will go through me and him. So that going forward, we'll
Mhm.
see anything that needs to be done, any waivers or non-waivers or any appeals.
Right, but
Okay.
so if somebody has a church on one street and then they have a building they bought on Philadelphia Avenue, where all the services get done at the church when on Philadelphia Avenue, they get a tax break at Philadelphia Avenue too, correct?
It depends. It depends on what the purpose of the tax exempt property is and
Okay.
where it is established.
All right, well, thank you.
And
Yeah.
I just want to let you know, I'm very concerned about that as well, and that's what I've been talking to everybody about, and I had mentioned to our president, he also, agreed with me that we need to set perimeters. I talked to Angela, we could set perimeters as a city to, on these sort of things, because right now there aren't really the perimeters that they need.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anybody else from public? Go once, go twice. Mayor, the floor is yours for your report.
Just a few things. Ryan and I met with the DEP and another gentleman today about the Brownsfield development. Actually going after the grant to be declared a BDA, and I'm gonna let Ryan talk more about it because he knows more about it. But it sounds like we can benefit from that by two things that I picked up was to close our landfill at the old dump in the industrial park, which I think I mentioned before, and also to help demolish Weisbecker since the prices are coming in so high. So it's a whole host of things that have to be done, but we do have a on-site meeting with them next week on Thursday to check out the sites that we're talking about. And then the only other thing, just to remind everyone that there is the Mayor's Walk on Sunday, April 21st. It'll start at 1 p.m. at Peace Pilgrim Park. It's scheduled as a 2-mile walk, but you can certainly head back anytime. It's a real simple path, so I hope everyone can participate. And also cleanup day is May the 4th. Same procedure from 8 to 12, and I hope everybody can volunteer for that also to clean a street up. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving into chair committee or committee chair reports. I'm gonna start with finance. So Tuesday we had a finance committee meeting. 4 things. So 111 New York Avenue, there's interest there for a woman-owned and ran business to purchase that property. It's called Vision Utility, I believe. The idea behind their business is a quick response company for disasters to help utility companies where they will house utility vehicles of all sorts, not a lot, but of all sorts, to be a quick response for any utilities that are companies in the area that are in need. And it was agreed that Ryan will be reaching out to her. She has already reached out twice to advise her of the next steps to take. Yeah. Addition to that, over the weekend, it was brought to our attention, block 307, lot 6 on Philadelphia Avenue. The church is a pretty dilapidated church out there that caved in, falling down. So we're gonna look to get quotes to have that demoed.
Did you figure out the address?
It's block 307, lot 6.
Oh, you still
lot
use the
6.
block lock. I couldn't
Yes.
figure out the address.
Um,
I told you the address, nobody believed me.
in addition to that, the St. Nick's property, I know we had initially, we had initial interest in doing a certain project there. That is turning a little around to now where he is looking at doing a luxurious assisted living facility. The committee was in favor of the new project. Him and his team are working on a concept and a plan to present to the committee and possibly council in the near future for us. And then we also discussed Weisbeckers to begin getting quotes for the demolition of that. So that was from finance. With code, I'll go into code also. So code, we had a meeting yesterday. Several issues on Philly Avenue are being addressed and have been taken care of, and the process being taken care of. There's issues on the White Horse Pike continue to be addressed and remedied and taken care of. Several other issues throughout the city currently being addressed with results coming in, emails and everything. We also discussed some additional tools that are needed, and I will be having them ordered for them to make their job a little bit more easier and more fluent for them when they're out in the field. And the cost effectiveness we're gonna look into. As of right now, we have an outside contractor who apparently cuts all the grass on foreclosed and lien properties of the city. So we're gonna look at the cost effectiveness of Public Works actually doing that now and not having an outside contractor do it. And we also, for the ordinance committee chair, we're gonna ask you to review the code fees and discuss increases due to the workload and everything else that they have.
Can I just make one comment about the Public Works
Sure.
thing? I used to do that, and if you are going to pursue doing that, then you're gonna have to hire at least 2 part-time employees to do that.
All right, we're not gonna pursue it. We're gonna see the cost effectiveness. It's a cost.
Add 2 part-time employees to your cost analysis, because that's about what you're gonna need. Because there's no way they can keep up with that.
It-
That's my opinion, because I've seen it in the past.
Sure. And I'm not gonna disagree or agree with you, but that's why we're gonna look into the cost effectiveness of it right now. And if if it leads to a direction where it's not gonna be cost effective, then we're not gonna go down that.
And just remember that cost is put as a lien on their property, so it doesn't really cost the taxpayers, as long as the lien's paid. It doesn't really
Right.
cost us anything.
All that, yes, all that was is known and has been discussed. So that's all I have for finance and code. So moving on, Councilman Dash for safety,
Nothing for safety.
Councilwoman Heiss for public works and highway.
Yeah, Public Works, I got a report from Keith Adams today. He says, we've been busy. All the drainage ditches on Atlantic Avenue from Havana to Bremen have been cut back and cleaned out. 4 days of storm drain work, 4 days of brush pickup. The guys did all the maintenance and mowers and have started cutting. Lake prep has begun, met with the mayor and discussed some of the things we need to address. Rotted fascia boards, sink replacement, I transposed those numbers. Lights replacement, painting of buildings and picnic tables, etc. Water is on at the stand and bathrooms on Lakeside, no leaks, so that's good, should be ready for startup testing. Lake was trimmed around the season, this is a two-day job. We had 3 emergency calls for trees down, and our latest hire, Jake, has finished his probation, and he is now in the weekly rotation call list. And that's all for Public Works.
Thank you.
Can I ask a question? Could you have them notify me when they take a tree down? Because we have an inventory. We want to get it off the inventory.
I don't think they took the trees down. I think the trees were down and they cleaned them.
They had to clean it up after they fell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but if the tree's not there anymore, we need to know.
We did it in January.
Because we have an inventory that shows there's trees in certain locations. So if the tree's not there anymore, we need to be notified.
Is it in city limits, do you want, or?
Just street
Anywhere.
trees, just street trees.
Okey dokey, I will let him know that.
Thank you. Councilwoman Antonisi, Property Parks Playgrounds and School Board.
For school board, there was a meeting yesterday night. I wasn't able to attend. I just would like to encourage other people to attend. The last few school board meetings I've been at, there's been all of 2 people there. I know everybody's busy. Just put it on people's radar. That's really good for the community to come out to those meetings so that you would hear what they're discussing. For property parks and playgrounds, there was a lake meeting scheduled for the employees coming up. I will be away on vacation during that, so I had talked to Jody. I'll get the information for that afterwards. And then I did not receive the agreement from the current campground manager for the capital improvement for this year, which he was supposed to put into writing. So Joe and I briefly discussed that before this meeting, but I just wanted to put that out there on the record. That's
Okay,
all I have.
so that was due March 16th. It was 60 days prior to opening, correct?
Mhm.
So if our council could reach out to him, advise him he is in violation of the contract. And then we will make our decision of what next steps we will take.
Will do.
No more games. No. Thanks. Anything else? Sorry.
No, it's all I have.
All right, thank you. Councilman Wright, utility,
Nada.
Councilwoman Clark, license ordinance,
Nothing at this time.
Councilman Timmers, land use, Aaron Haven.
Nothing for Aaron Haven, however, land use, they did have a meeting several weeks ago. There were 2 items. One was the owners of Beacon Hall that came in to amend their application. Because they had, there was a requirement for them to do a parking lot and I guess they found it was unfeasible. So they came in to have their application amended to remove that requirement. Also, we had some people who came in to discuss the Wawa pad site. They wanted to do a cannabis retail there. So they gave their presentation. I'm sure Ryan will go into more detail than I could. And those are 2 items that were on the land use.
All right, anything else? Thank you. Meg, anything would Jeff?
Oh, just that Jeff's coming to the
Lake meeting.
lake meeting
the
to
eighth-
give a presentation for the new employees that will work at the Lake New and coming back employees. They will attend that staff meeting, which is May 8th.
Yeah, May 8th. Anything else?
Nope.
All right, Councilwoman Hesse, Rotary.
I just have from Rotary, on behalf of the Rotary, I'd like to thank Officer White and Officer Founville for coming out and participating in the Easter egg hunt. It was really nice what Officer Founville had said. It was perfect. I've heard numerous people say that to me about them. So thank you for them. That's it. That's all I have.
Thank you. Councilwoman Galloway, sustainable.
Yes, just to note that April 15th is the deadline for the Arbor Day photo contest. Details are on sustainableehc.org website and on our Facebook page. And Arbor Day celebration is set for 3 to 6 p.m. Friday, April 26th at Peace Pilgrim Park. We'll have some exhibitors there talking about energy conservation and things like that. And I believe the arborist will be there, volunteering his time to talk to people. And we have a limited number of trees we're going to be purchasing. They're in 2 and 3 gallon pots, so they're not the little saplings. They're actually, a couple feet tall. So we'll have some, they're free for residents. We're just gonna have to talk to the residents about where they plant them and if it's in the right spot. So it'll be fun to give out trees, I think. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you. Chief, welcome.
Thank you. All right, some quick numbers. Since March 14th since March 14th, we've had 1 burglary, 2 fraud cases, 1 sexual assault, 1 stolen motor vehicle, 8 thefts, 13 motor vehicle accidents, 3 pedestrian stops, 77 traffic stops. Total of 49 summonses were issued. We had 3 DUI arrests. Our total arrests for that time period is 15. That is including the DUIs. Other calls for service, we had 16 business alarms, 4 residential alarms, 271 crime prevention activities, 5 criminal mischief calls, 9 domestics, 39 EMS calls, 14 firearms IT applications, 25 follow-up calls, 818 property checks, and 13 public service calls. In terms of operation support training inspections, we had yesterday our Department of Corrections cell inspection. We have to go through that every 2 years to make sure that we are in compliance. I was talking to Ryan about it. We have made requests for exemptions because we are not up to the Department of Corrections standards. A lot of it is physical plant stuff that cannot be changed, so we have been granted those exemptions. Those requests were made and we are expected to get those exemptions again because we have previously. But the OC likes to take its time. We had a school security visit at the Egg Harbor City Public Schools, so the community school and the Sprague School. Department of Education comes in and does an assessment of how safe the buildings are, what areas can use improvement, and how we can work together with the schools, or how the police and the schools can work together to make sure that they're safe during lockdown, shelter in place, that kind of stuff. So that's always good. I believe they do those every few years. But we did that today. It was very successful. I've attended both state chiefs and county chiefs meetings. We had an installation dinner the other night. I am now officially the secretary for the Atlantic County Association of Chiefs of Police. Yay.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. We had a countywide training that was spearheaded by the Atlantic County Prosecutor's Office at the Moravian Church the other day. It was a simulated larger scale event. From all accounts, it is a great training. We did have officers involved in that. So there was a large presence of SWAT and police vehicles, drones, everything like that. But they do those kind of trainings usually twice a year at various locations in the county, just so that we're prepared for whatever it is. It is very, very much a real-time event, and the only people who know what the scenario is going to be are the people who have planned it. So when the officers get dispatched out, it is as if they are being dispatched to some call, and they have to deal with it on the fly, get the resources, do what they have to do. So always a good training. We had an officer go to a crisis negotiator applied suicide intervention skills training. That was 2 days. He did not really want to go. He's like, oh, I'm no training. So it was probably one of the best trainings that he's been to. He's received a lot of information, so that's good. We are also in the process of working with a newer sort of organization, the Northern Atlantic County Water Rescue Task Force, a bunch of fire departments and OEMs from the county who have any larger bodies of water or who are along any the river are getting together to come up with a coordinated response pattern. So, when it comes to requesting mutual aid, what jurisdictions are requesting what, who's backing up whom, all that kind of stuff. So, we're working with that. Upcoming trainings, we have one officer going to a unit training. It is a state training for undercover narcotics investigation training. That's a 5-day training. Because we have been doing so much drug stuff and drug work. It's important that we actually have like some really good training to go with that. So that's a 5-day training that he will be attending. We also have some folks going to an IA training, so internal affairs. It's one of the most important functions in the police department to help identify deficiencies in our department, in terms of policies, anything like that. It's not just about seeing what people do wrong. It's about also taking a look at whether or not our policies and our training is the problem and not what the officer is doing. So as Councilwoman Hesse mentioned, we did have 2 officers speak at the Easter egg hunt. They were strategically chosen because I knew that Bonville, he's our community policer. So yeah. Some very good news. After a lengthy wait, we finally have all 3 of our new vehicles in our back parking lot. They're being striped next week, so that is wonderful. I did speak with Jody, or with Enterprise. We probably are gonna have to do gov deals for the vehicles that we have because they are worth like $900. So that's what we're looking at. One thing that I did want to read, last month, during the week of the council meeting, some of our officers were involved with the New Jersey State Police Crime Suppression South Unit and Stafford Township Police Department. So this is what I got from them after that whole week of investigation and warrants. So members of the Egg Harbor City Police Department assisted the New Jersey State Police Crime Suppression South Unit and the Stafford Township Police Department with a long-term drug trafficking investigation taking place in Atlantic County, including Egg Harbor City. The targets of this investigation were identified as violent offenders with extensive criminal histories, including multiple gun charges. As a result of this investigation, during the week of March 10th, a total of 5 residential search warrants, including one on the 300 block of 5th Terrace in Egg Harbor City, and 3 vehicle search warrants were executed. As a result of the search warrants, the following evidence was seized: 4 handguns, one of which was stolen out of North Carolina, multiple rounds of hollow point and ball ammunition, significant quantities of heroin, fentanyl, methamphetamine, crack cocaine, and various items related to the packaging and distribution of CDS. 6 suspects were apprehended and charged with various 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th degree offenses relating to drug possession, distribution, and weapons. So this is what we're up to. And sometimes Egg Harbor City gets a very bad rap about how we are, but this is a countywide, statewide, nationwide epidemic that we are up against with drugs and guns. So we're doing all right here. I would ask for everybody to keep officers from Galloway Township in their thoughts and prayers for speedy recoveries. 2 officers were stabbed in the face while responding to a domestic violence call. One had serious injuries, had to undergo surgery. One, fortunately, the injuries were, I don't want to say minor, but it was released the same day. So, it is a reminder of what exactly it is that we are dealing with and exactly, what can happen in the blink of an eye. So that's all I've got. Any questions? Oh, actually, I'm sorry. One thing I did want to bring up, and I don't know if you want me to wait, Council President, or not, with the ordinance for the noise. There are some changes to the hours. One thing I would like for everybody to realize is that this ordinance is specific to public places or businesses. This is not for residential or private citizens or anything like that. I can talk more about that when that comes around, but I think that's important to note because I think all people will hear is, okay, these are the times when people have to be quiet, but that's not necessarily the case. That's it. Any questions, concerns, comments?
So our frat houses are considered residences.
So yes, they are considered residences, and the ordinance 2026 unlawful acts does not have a time limitation. So that can be applied to residences at any point in time, it doesn't have to be during the times that will be indicated in the 198, the noise ordinance. So it's very specific about if it's bothering you and it's continuous and it's bothersome, then we can go out there and issue a 2026. And that is what we have been using for frat houses to address the issues. We've cited them, and then the more we cite them, then we go ahead with the excessive use of municipal services. But so anybody who has neighbors that are too loud or anything like that, 2026 is the ordinance that you want to refer to in terms of businesses. 198, the one that will be that is being amended this evening, is what you want to deal with then.
Are you recommending that we put residents on the one
of the other one? Or no?
I don't, no, I'm not, because I think that, you know, if somebody is blaring their music loud in their driveway at 11 a.m. For like 3 hours straight, and it is, you know, vulgar music, with a lot of profanity that, you know, when you have kids, I don't think there should be a time limitation on that. So I think that the 2026 addresses that and allows enough leeway to address individual issues as they arise. So.
I believe that's what we were talking about,
Yeah,
that one,
I think we
that
did,
one meeting
yeah.
that we were thinking about putting the time limits, but then we figured 202 would be a lot better.
Mhm.
So, as the ordinance.
Yep, okay.
Thank you.
And now finally, I think we all know that.
Mhm.
Our officers.
Jody, the floor is yours.
I don't have anything.
All right.
Thank you.
Meg,
I have nothing.
better yet.
Fine.
Angela, we know you have stuff.
I have a few things. So, yeah, the stormwater, correct. So number 31 is the stormwater ordinance that came to me by way of Pineland. So we don't have any leeway on that. I read it over to make sure it made sense and make sure it was consistent with our ordinances, and so that's what we have. And I have been talking to Mr. Sakar, Jonathan Sakar, about the movie theater and how that's moving along on the tower site. And the mayor and Ryan, I think, are meeting with him tomorrow, is it? Tomorrow to get a further update on that, so we'll have a further update for our next meeting. And then we have a new cannabis application from Jersey Grown LLC for a class 1 cultivation. That's on Bremen Avenue, 1401 Bremen Avenue. They still have to go to the land use board for conditional use approval. So I'm reviewing that. It'll go to the chief as it normally does. It'll go to the engineer as it also normally does. And that's it. Thank you very much.
Awesome, thank you. Ryan, engineers report.
No. Oh, it went through?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So
Okay, so good news. Ryan just informed me that the New Jersey EDA made public the grant that we applied for the tower grant, a tower site lots tract, and it's $1,030,000.
29.
Yeah, 1 million, I call it 1,030,000 because it's 1,029,50 or something. So we had a meeting with them a couple of weeks ago. They insisted it be private. They did insist on that, and that's why I didn't bring it up. But so apparently it's on the website now. Congratulations to the city. That's used specifically for that site. That's for infrastructure.
It doesn't come to us, it goes to the developer.
No, it comes to us.
Oh, really?
Specifically does not go to the developer. That was one of the issues. It went to make sure it wasn't going to the developer, it was going to us. So it goes to us.
And what exactly can we use it for? What-
Infrastructure?
Yeah, so it'll help offset, really it'll help offset his development cost to construct what will become public infrastructure.
Roads and driveways.
Sidewalks, deceleration lanes, curb cuts, street lighting, drainage, all that kind of stuff. But only on what will be the public right of ways, which will be maintained by the city. North Philly. We had applied for funding for other portions for things that would be on site, but since the developer will take ownership of them, that those were deemed as eligible.
Is there a timeline?
I don't know.
Just got the announcement yesterday.
Okay, so,
I haven't seen it yet.
okay.
And is there a match of any sort?
No,
Yeah.
no,
No.
nope.
And all of these costs would be borne by the developer normally. So it really helps offset his costs and helps advance his project. But we're the beneficiary because all of that stuff will be inherited by the city once he constructs.
Thank you.
And who applied for the grant? The developer or
No,
we did it?
The city did it.
There was some level of
Collaboration.
required because I needed
Right.
information about his development company and I needed his financials and I needed all of that.
Uh-huh.
to Make sure it was a good project. But yeah, the city was technically the applicant with a lot of cooperation.
Okay.
So basically, the way it went down was, they supplied the grant to us. I reviewed it. Zachar helped us. Zachary provided some information, we provided more information, went back and forth for a bit, we had a meeting. They told us it would most likely be approved, but it was not public, they didn't want it public. And so I'm glad that it was successful.
Great job. That's good.
Sure.
All right, good report, Ryan. Thank you.
Yeah.
No.
Go
ahead.
Sure, just a couple things, if anyone wants to bring up anything else, I can. Weisberger Dental, we're starting negotiations after failing to award bid after bidding twice. But after a meeting that we had the other day, it's possible that the demolition would be eligible for an EDA grant. So we're gonna kind of negotiate a little bit and see where we can land, but also reach out to EDA and see if they believe it's eligible. If it is, it might make sense to pause for a little bit and see how quickly, we could get that money, and then rather than put a lien on it and just let it go away, you need to fund it, obviously that would help.
So real quick,
Mhm.
I know you touched on it. That's like, give me a true estimate of a time frame if we go that EDA route.
Well, that I don't know yet. That's all
Okay.
part of, we're gonna get a copy of the application and find out what the application process is and the review process is. Is it a hard deadline that's due in August? Is it a rolling program that they review in 2 weeks? I don't know yet. The folks from DEP are the ones who turned us onto it and said, look, this program exists. I think that's ineligible to cost, you should reach out to them. So that was just a meeting we had, was like today, yeah.
Today.
It's all,
10 a.m.
so, yeah, we met with them today at 10 a.m. and I had 11, and I drove them to Wildwood for an in-person meeting, and now I'm here. Anyway, so.
So you think?
Yeah, and so I believe it was today. We met with them and they just told us about it a couple hours ago. So we're gonna vet that out and see if it's 6 months out, then I don't think it makes sense. If it's something that we could turn around in a month or two, another month or two on what we've already had is probably not the end of the world.
Yeah, because I don't want to speak out of turn, but I think our goal up here was to get that thing down
Mhm.
by the summertime for the Food Truck Festival, Fall Festival. I know we have a Spring Festival, but so.
Yeah, understood. So with that goal in mind, we'll vet the EDA thing pretty quickly. I'll reach out tomorrow, try to get the application and get all that information sorted out. And then we can bring that back to you guys so you can make an informed decision on, which route do you want to take? Is it worth the investment, or do you want to try to wait for one?
Okay.
Since we're there, the other part of that DP conversation was about designating certain areas of the city as brownfield redevelopment areas. There are specific criteria that you need to meet to sort of attain that recognition and open up those opportunities. There's funding available for investigation, remediation, and for redevelopment of parcels, both occupied ones and vacant ones. We sort of showed them the known contaminated sites list on up and down Route 30 and the retail commercial district, and that feels like a good potential fit. The other one is the Antwerp Avenue landfill site out by the Sears Industrial Park, right? So we're gonna work, obviously that's a little longer term goal, but we're gonna work towards both of those. I believe you said the applications are due in July.
July 31st.
Yeah, so that application is a little more intensive, but it opens up a significant amount of funding to start at the very bottom and work it all the way through. Some of it has a 25% match, but a lot of them dovetail into redevelopment opportunities where you can get the redeveloper to cover that 25% match as their contribution to take the land, at least as a portion of it. So that would help eliminate a lot of things that are just sort of hanging over our head, things that we didn't want to touch because we didn't want to, open up Pandora's box and be stuck with it with no assistance. So this is, a good pathway forward to not only get those issues resolved, but get, a financial generating project for the city, whether it's expansion industrial park, community solar, new businesses, or new potentially viable commercial properties on Route 30. All of that is the potential outcome of those. So like Lisa mentioned, I think we're gonna meet with them next week on Thursday.
Thursday,
11
11 o'clock.
Thursday, 11, we'll meet with them and sort of vet both of those, because they said, look, we understand how these programs work, we understand what the eligibility requirements are, but we really need to just get eyes on it and get a feel for whether we think it's gonna be, able to qualify, and that we don't waste your time one way or the other. So assuming we move them and that goes well, we'll have to start putting resolutions on. There's resolution support, there's agreements. There's all kinds of things need to happen before that July 31st application deadline. So if we decide to move forward with that, there'll be a couple of steps between now.
Okay.
Okay, what else? So. Archway Green project, that plans application was submitted. That's where the vacant lot that's next to the White Spectre property. So we're finally getting that started. Third Terrace resident drainage concerns, we put out a quote solicitation that is due on next Friday at 4 p.m. So we'll finally have more than one real number and have something that we potentially actually award for that for the following council meeting. The energy planning grant was finally complete and submitted to the state. I think that was all good, correct? And then the 1 and 300 blocks of Liverpool Avenue, we're pretty close to wrapping up that design. So hopefully we'll be back, getting ready to bid that in the next couple weeks.
Ryan, do you want to mention, Stefania, that congressional discretionary grant for the, we did wind up doing it for the Crusaders Field.
Yes.
I forgot to mention that. And then also the, we applied for two, the pumper truck, which is separate, and then the one Ryan's going to tell you about that just went in.
Sure. So, there's not a lot of recreation grant funding available. So I don't think exactly what they're called, but the congressional appropriations are currently open and calling for applications. So we submitted for much of the improvements that we've already talked about at Key Rec. City has some funding allocated to those things, but you can always divert to other things. So we requested, I think it was like $750,000 for expansion of the snack stand, the fence, ADA upgrades to the bathrooms, lighting, ADA access pathways, connecting to the Deesburg Street Park, to all of those facilities. So try to prepare the application. We did the cost estimate and description and all of that. So, we'll see how that goes. That would obviously help move all that stuff along, and free up budget for lots of other stuff.
That'd be wonderful.
So, yeah, I think that was due.
Do they have a time limit
Yeah.
on that, or when's it going to be voted on?
It was already due,
Yeah.
so I don't know.
No, I mean,
think,
when does Congress vote on it?
that I don't know, but I know that my understanding is they have like a filter around where they let you know within the next couple weeks to a month whether you made the cut of, real consideration. So we should have that pretty quickly, and then after that, not possible.
What's the second one?
Pumper truck for the fire department,
Yeah, I was involved with that one.
And how much is that one?
600, Jody? Or no, 900, right?
9.
The pumper truck?
Great.
Is that what we applied?
1.2.
It was supposed to be 1.2, but I don't think that, I saw that in the,
I think
One.
the difference was like our match.
okay.
So maybe.
I think
it's-
Oh, right, 25%, right, okay.
Yeah.
It was 300, I think, thousand for the
Yeah, that
match.
makes sense. So that's it for me at the moment. Somebody hasn't.
No, I don't. New Orleans Avenue.
All right, I will call Fred tomorrow and try to get an update on it. Because the last thing we submitted, we thought should have been fine, and I haven't heard back, so I'll call him.
And then there was plots of land on 600 Baltimore, I think it was, or San Francisco.
Yes, I owe you a proposal for that.
Yes.
I think I've been away more days than I've been here since we had that conversation.
Yeah, and I'm not, listen,
I'll get you that.
you know how I am, I'm not,
Yes, no, you're certainly not on the.
Yeah.
I'll get you the proposal next week. With some background, with the wetlands and all that stuff.
and this is circling back to last year,
Mhm.
talk about the LED lighting upgrading the streetlights.
So we requested, I can't remember how many times, from Bill Edwards, Atlantic City Electric. He never got it to us. He's since retired.
Oh, great.
He's working for them as a consultant, and they've not appointed anyone in his position.
Okay.
So we can submit, I mean, we essentially, we could just escalate our request and say, look, we can't wait around for this forever. We know this is gonna save us money. We really need this. I mean, if we start pushing buttons at the Exelon level, they'll start making people here do something.
And correct me if I'm wrong, was there a grant application out there coming up for upgraded streetlights?
Yeah, but most of them are through the BPU and Atlantic City Electric.
Right.
Because it's weird, because you're the applicant, but you don't own them.
Okay.
So most of the direct funding sources, it's not an eligible expense because you don't own it. They won't pay for Atlantic City Electric to upgrade their infrastructure to charge you money. So
Okay.
the only program that I was aware of was through the BPU, through Atlantic City Electric directly. So we can make that push again, because I think we dug up the Excel sheet. I think we were looking at that when we did the community energy plan. And it was included in the community energy plan that it's something that was on the city's radar and something we wanted to complete.
We're gonna be applying for that grant. It's due in May, I think May 24th. But the way it's gonna work out, it's probably gonna, the EV chargers will probably be at the top of the list because the funding's available for those right now. So
Yeah.
we'll see how far that goes. It's only $250,000 though, so.
Yeah, and like I said, the streetlight ones is usually one that's borderline eligible or not eligible because of the ownership situation. But yeah, I mean, we had requested, I mean, going back a couple of years now. we had requested,
I remember.
Full information so that we could do the financial analysis of what the
Yeah,
payback
right.
period was, and we never got it.
Yeah.
So I'll follow.
It's not a builder.
No, it's definitely not better.
And then, one last item, is it dead in the water with the solar project here?
No, I mean,
No.
it just comes down to scope. We need to pin down. Do we want to use the field? Do we want to use the roof? Do we want to try carports? We really need to pin down a scope.
Have we gotten, good, wasn't the last conversation getting the reconfiguration of them or something?
Yeah, so we got an updated reconfiguration of the panels, having them in the field portion, leaving an area that could accommodate a potential police garage for storage of vehicles, et cetera, in the future. And we brought that back, but I don't recall what the discussion was. I mean, from what I remember, there was some discussion about trying to eliminate them, trying to move more to the roof. So we just need to isolate where exactly do we want them to go? And then a solar developer will be happy to put them up as fast as we want.
And I think the other part of the discussion was, if we were gonna pay for, change the agreement, because if we had the money to do it, it would be better that we own it. That was part of the discussion rather than,
Well, yeah, we did.
right? If I remember
Probably
correctly.
8 months ago now, we had the discussion and arrived at, probably more than that the PPA would be the better route.
Right,
Because the cost savings difference was minimal and there's no maintenance responsibility for the city. Between that conversation and now, the math changed because you guys are now eligible for the tax credits directly. So if you're the owner of them, you can get a 30 to 40% tax credit that you weren't eligible for a year ago. So, but all of that comes down to, we need to have a scope fully pinned down and then approach the solar developers, and then we can get that financial analysis for this configuration. Does it make more sense to own a PPA?
Okay.
There is a grant opportunity out there for that type of stuff,
Yeah,
but it's a two-parter. We were told we could not apply this year because we have to do a more enhanced energy plan.
okay.
But there's grant funding available for that. And then the following year, you could apply for the implementation,
So you'd have
and
to
that's through the federal government.
update the plan and then apply.
Right,
I mean,
so-
for the cost of the project, relatively speaking, it's not that much. I mean, you're a little over $100,000 would be the city's share, relatively, you know. So we'll have to just go through and figure out, you know, does the time delay make sense, or does it just make sense to try to do it?
Okay.
But yeah, that's where I'm at. I just need a firm scope. This is where we want the panels. And I mean, I have the areas that are required, whether it's on the roof, whether it's on the ground, whether it's whatever. You know, we can reconfigure our heart's content. We just need to lock down scope and then we can move forward.
If you haven't emailed them before, which I'm sure many of us don't,
I'll send it to everyone.
yeah, please.
Yeah.
That way we can have make a decision either on the 25th or the first meeting of May.
And if you're getting an email from Ryan, check your junk mail, because that's where they'll go.
Yeah, Donna's like,
Yeah.
see my email, I'm like, I
Every-
replied like
everything
30
comes
minutes
in
later.
Sorry for taking up all your time, Ryan. Was anybody else want to take up this time?
Yeah. The plans for the concession stand and everything.
Yes.
Have basically been approved, so we can take it to the next step and see about going the Pine Lands.
So I have, yeah, I mean, I've been prepared and we have the
Yeah,
plan for the.
but Key
sidewalk
Records pretty
extension.
much approved it, so we want to take it to this next step so we can get this ball moving.
Okay, so we're gonna have to schedule a pre-app meeting with the Finance Commission and
Okay.
see how difficult they want to be. There
Right.
is an outstanding violation on the key.
Now, they're telling me it's not. I called to Danny McGinnis the other night at the field when I was doing signups.
Okay,
That was supposed to be over, done with thrown out when you're talking about the asphalt, the rubber tires that they put down in the parking lot across the street from Harbor Fields.
The less I know about what they put there, the better, but yes.
Yes.
Yes, for all intents and purposes, the last I was involved, that was a problem and it's all still there, so. if it got
They're
resolved,
saying that
that's
they
possible.
should have got a letter saying that, because they saying,
All right.
and then
I'll
basically
Dan.
call Danny, because Danny said if there's an issue, for you to reach out to them, because they have proof that it's been.
All right, that would be great. We went up there years ago, Dan and I went up to try ask about the basketball court at the corner.
Yes.
Of Deer Street and St. Louis, and they kind of laughed us out of the room.
Yeah,
So,
pretty much.
I don't want to do that again.
No,
So yeah, whatever we're gonna do, we just need to make sure all our ducks are in. I definitely think we should have a pre-app meeting just so we don't get.
Yeah.
blindsided
Oh, no,
by
100%.
application.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, I'll sit down with you at some point and we'll sort of mock out everything that we want to do on that site and make sure it's all covered.
Okay.
And then we'll schedule a pre-app meeting with the Finance Commission so we can vet out all the potential.
okay,
projects.
that works.
All right.
Sounds good to me.
Can we have a date to set a date for that?
You want me?
Whenever you want.
All right.
Anything after,
I'll find some time next week.
let me know, just call me.
All right. Cool. Anybody else, Brian? All right. Going on to 14, motion to approve the use Peace Pilgrim Park, Peace Pilgrim Celebration, July 20th, walk and picnic, 8 AM to 2 PM.
I'll make that motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Introduce ordinance number 6 of this year, calendar year 24, to exceed the municipal budget appropriation limits and establish a cap bank. Any questions or comments regarding this? If not, may I have a motion?
Move it.
Second.
Right, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion to advertise introduction of ordinance 6 in the Hampton Gazette on the 17th for hearing on the 25th.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Resolution to authorize introduction of year 2024 municipal budget by title only. Any questions or comments? Do you want any comments from you on this?
Sorry, I was. Which are we on? 15 or 16?
60,
Introducing the budget.
60. Any comments on
I
this?
apologize.
No worries.
We had our budget meeting earlier and this, we can still make any changes. This does have a 0 tax rate increase on it. We'll have the hearing on May 9th. And council can still make changes at that point. This is just the introduction.
All right. If there's no other questions or comments, may I have a motion there, please?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Antonisi,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Dash.
Yes.
Galloway,
Yes.
Heist,
Yes.
Hesse.
Yes.
Timbers,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Ritchie.
Yes, advertised in the Hamilton Gazette on 17th for hearing on May 9th.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, 17 is a resolution for 24 temporary budget. Any questions or comments? May I have a motion?
Second.
Roll call. Antonisi.
Yes.
Clark.
Yes.
Dash.
Yes.
Galloway.
Yes.
Heist,
Yes.
Hesse.
Yes.
Timbers,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Ritchie.
Yes. 18 is to authorize the use of the Internal Revenue Services 24 standard business mileage rates. Any questions regarding this?
What is it these days?
I think it's
67, I think. it is.
67 cents.
67.
67?
67 cents.
Oh, my. I ought to get a raise.
Any other questions? May I have a motion to authorize?
Make a motion.
Second, roll call.
Antonisi.
Yes.
Clark.
Yes.
Dash.
Yes.
Galloway.
Yes.
Heist,
Yes.
Hesse.
Yes.
Timbers,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Ritchie.
Yes. May I have a motion to authorize the mayor to sign a memorandum of understanding with Atlantic County for small cities, CV1, CV3, community development block grant funds. Any questions or comments?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Roll call.
Antonisi.
Yes.
Clark.
Yes.
Dash.
Yes.
Galloway.
Yes.
Heist,
Yes.
Hesse.
Yes.
Timbers,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Ritchie.
Yes. Resolution to join the Monmouth Ocean Educational Services Co-op. Any questions? Motion?
Make a motion.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to consider resolution number 70 of 24 for senior center HVAC improvements. Any questions or comments? Have a motion?
So moved.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Resolution to award the purchase and installation of 2 gas heat and split DX cooling HVAC systems for the Echo City Senior Center to Hutchins HVAC through the Monmouth Ocean Educational Services Commission Co-op. Any questions? May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Antonisi.
Abstain.
Clark. Yes. Dash.
Yes.
Galloway.
Yes.
Heist.
Yes.
Hesse.
Yes,
Timbers.
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
Ritchie.
Yes. Resolution, tonnage grant application, any questions or comments? Have a motion,
So moved.
Second.
roll call?
Antonisi.
Yes.
Clark. Yes. Dash.
Yes.
Galloway.
Yes.
Heist.
Yes.
Hesse.
yes,
Timbers.
Yes.
Ritchie.
Yes. Resolution to cancel the balance of utility capital improvement authorization ordinance 17 of 2019, amount of $14,144. Any questions regarding or comments? May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second,
Second.
roll call?
Antonisi.
Yes.
Clark.
Yes.
Dash.
Yes.
Galloway.
Yes.
Heist.
Yes.
Hesse.
yes,
Timbers.
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
Ritchie.
Yes. Refund property first quarter taxes, 100 disabled veteran tax exemption. Any questions? Roll call, or motion?
Make a motion.
Second.
Roll call?
Antonisi.
Yes.
Clark.
Yes.
Dash.
Yes.
Galloway.
Yes.
Heist.
Yes.
Hesse.
yes,
Timbers.
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
Ritchie.
Yes. Resolution for nonprofit tax exemption 449, 450 Cincinnati Avenue, People Rescue, a New Jersey nonprofit corporation. Are there any questions or comments regarding this?
Comment.
I'm sorry?
I'd like to make a comment.
Sure, go ahead.
Everyone should know that this is for a vacant lot. It's not for the house that's attached.
Yes.
It's a $20,000 assessment that'll be eliminated.
Probably around what, $1,200, I think, something like that.
No, it's less than that, I think.
Okay.
And I talked to the assessor and we're gonna make sure that we check on it to make sure that it's actually being used. If it's not being used, it'll come off next year.
I'd like to make a comment as well. As I had said to Ben before, I would really like to set perimeters on some of these tax exempt places. I think it's a little too broad, and I really think it's important to set some kind of perimeters by the municipality. And as per
Is that
our
state?
council,
It's not
No,
state,
I asked-
it's like-
I asked.
State application, but you're talking zoning.
And I agree, there has to be some kind of oversight limitations, whatever you want to call it. So it's definitely something for us to look into in the very, 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 very near future.
Yeah, people are
Still like a long problem.
Well, believe it or not, that area, and you can talk more about it if you want, that is not just residential, it's zoned for commercial use. Cincinnati, especially the 200 block where Pepe's is and all that, that zoning is not just residential.
Yeah, I talked to Mike today about sort of the threshold question he gets these, and that is either a CO or a zoning permit for the use, because you have to review the local land use first. You shouldn't do a tax exemption for use that's not allowed to exist there. Right, so, I believe we're doing that.
Yeah, so it's definitely something we are going to look into. So any other questions regarding 26? If not, may I have a motion?
Make a motion.
Second.
Roll call?
Antonisi.
Yes.
Clark.
Yes.
Dash.
Yes.
Galloway.
Yes.
Heist.
Yes.
Hesse.
Yes,
Timbers.
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
Ritchie.
Yes. 27, same thing, nonprofit tax exemption for 220, 222 Cincinnati Avenue and 223 Buffalo Avenue Ceramic Tile Education Foundation. Any questions or comments regarding this?
I would like to just say this particular group, you can look them up on GuideStar and see when their founding year was. You can review their 990s. They are a legitimate nonprofit. I looked them up this morning before while I was preparing for this meeting.
Well,
So,
they may be a legitimate nonprofit, but the building has to be used for that purpose.
I understand.
And that's where we need to clarify.
I understand.
And I'm also going to comment regarding what Brian just said about the previous is 223 Buffalo, correct me if I'm wrong, is zoned residential, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's not zoned for commercial.
That's correct.
And did they get a use variance?
Not that I'm aware.
Exactly.
well, Cornell's is on, Cornell's Auto is on the same block, so there could be a different, right, Brian's?
We checked that.
What's on Cornell's block? That's the 200 block, right?
Yeah, I believe that lot specifically was in R6.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, we actually looked Tuesday night, you could put up.
Yeah.
I'm allowed to use.
So again, we are, this is not gonna go to the wayside. We'll definitely get into this. So, any other comments? or
Well,
questions?
do we know that they're actually allowed to use it for this purpose?
For what purpose?
For the purpose that they're using it,
For training to
for
People.
tile setting?
tile setting.
It's, correct me, but again, without zoned,
Well, yeah. I mean,
But
to
that's
be
a
honest, I didn't know
collective,
It's
right?
there until today,
Yeah.
so, I'll talk to Steve about it. I mean, if they're operating a use that's not permitted without a CO or without, any permission from the city to do that, we'll address that from the land use and code enforcement side.
I'm making a motion, we table.
so the thing with tabling it is, it's already been set forth. This is just more or less giving the authority, authorization to the tax office to
Tax collector.
Tax
put it on the
collector.
books.
So it's already been
As of
approved?
January 1, it's
Yeah.
already.
fire
approved.
tax assessment.
It's been approved already.
Correct.
And the appeal period.
It's just that Laura need in a tax.
So this is just a formality on our
That's
part.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
For
Okay,
the Tax collector to put it on her books.
okay.
Take it all.
Yeah,
I make a motion to accept it then.
all right, I have a second,
Second.
roll call please.
Atenesi? Yes. Clark? Yes. Dash?
Yes,
Galloway?
Reluctantly, yes.
Heist?
With the net, yes.
Hesse?
I'm with both of them.
Timbers?
Yes.
Yes.
Wright?
Yes.
Ritchie?
No.
Hey,
26 or 28 resolution proclaiming April National Safe Digging Month. I have a motion, sorry. I got lost.
Oh, can I mention something about this, please?
Sure.
Springtime is a time when people are starting to dig their gardens or plant trees or whatever. It's really important that you call 811 before you dig a hole. You can hit a gas line and blow yourself up. You can hit an electric line and electrocute yourself.
I hope they're not planting trees that far down in the ground.
And I had to call for 811 recently and they came out within a day. So it's not something we're gonna have to wait a week or so to do the digging. So please call before you dig.
Any other comment?
And that's it.
All right, may I have a motion,
I'll make that motion.
second,
Second.
all in favor?
I
Resolution opposing the state of New Jersey's new proposed shore protection rule. I believe that was emailed to everyone for review. Is there any questions or comments regarding that? May I have a motion,
make that motion.
Second,
all in favor?
Aye.
Abstain.
Okay.
I got it.
Alright, number 30 is a resolution supporting the submission of a project for grant funding from the USDA Community Facilities Grant Program for the development of a new canine training facility in Atlantic County. At this time, Atlantic County, I believe, has no canine training facility, and it is Corbin City.
Mhm.
Yes,
Corbin
Corbin
City.
City is petitioning to have one established in their town.
It's a whole two blocks.
Yeah. Any questions or comments regarding this? If not, may I have a motion?
So moved.
second,
All in favor?
Aye.
Specific to that.
31 is to introduce ordinance number 7 of this year, amending chapter 170, land use and development, chapter 233, stormwater control of the code. City of Egg Harbor, County of Atlantic, and State of New Jersey. This is what Angela touched on earlier. Are there any further questions or comments? May I have a motion to introduce?
Make a motion. Second.
All in favor?
aye,
Motion to advertise introduction in the Gazette on April 17th for hearing on the 23rd.
Make a motion.
second,
All in favor?
Aye.
At this time, number 32 is a public hearing for ordinance number 2 of this year, amending chapter 189 titled Noise of the Code of the City of Egg Harbor. I'd like to open it, I may have a motion to open a public hearing.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All right, anybody from the public like to speak on this? Going once, twice, motion.
I'll make a motion.
I would like to say something, please.
Oh, go ahead.
Yes, I'm not in favor of having the noise ordinance changed to be till 12 midnight, even if it's a business, there's homes that are close to these businesses. And for example, if it's on Philadelphia Avenue, there's some apartments that are above some of these businesses. And I was thinking like what kind of a practical application of having the noise ordinance why would a business want it to be extended till midnight? And I'm thinking maybe they want to have an outdoor band or something like this.
It's not being extended before it was two AM. So
Oh.
we're bringing it down to midnight.
Oh, my mistake. I thought it was 10 o'clock across the board. When I'm completely mistaken, I apologize, and I'm good with that then.
No worries.
My mistake. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anybody else from the public? Going once, twice, motion to close.
Motion. Second.
All right, motion to adopt,
Make a motion.
Second.
roll call.
Tanisi.
Yes.
Clark.
Yes.
Dash.
Yes.
Galloway.
Yes.
Heist.
Yes.
Hesse.
Yes.
Timbers.
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
Ritchie.
Yes, motion to advertise in the Gazette on 17.
So much.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, Councilwoman Clark, please remind me which one has the 96-gallon totes in it? Is it
35.
35?
Yeah.
So where we at?
33.
You got two more.
33. Okay, 33 is the one with the totes?
No.
35.
What
I
is,
got two more to get to.
Oh, okay.
what is this one?
Want to take one? What are we doing? No.
35 is one.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, 33, I'd like to open up public hearing for ordinance 324, amending chapter 178 titled littering of the code of the city of Egg Harbor. May I have a motion to open?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All right, anybody from the public would like to speak on this ordinance number 3?
Before you go to the public, what is this one for?
Littering.
What's the ordinance change?
I have to look it up now.
Yeah, I don't have I didn't have.
You were part of.
There's two things that were changed. And one is the fees, it's a sliding fee, and the other is, the lien.
Oh, okay, the fines.
Yes, the fines.
Thank you.
Mhm.
All right,
And before it goes to public, just so people realize, this isn't just within city limits. This is out at the lake. This is out Clark's Landing, where it goes out to Egg Harbor City. This is Lower Bank Road. That's considered littering. That's still parts of Egg Harbor City, just to make that clear.
all right, anybody from the public? Going once, twice, motion to close?
Make a motion.
Second.
Motion to adopt,
Make a motion. Second.
roll call?
Tanisi.
Yes.
Clark.
Yes.
Dash.
Yes.
Galloway.
Yes.
Heist.
Yes.
Hesse.
Yes.
Timbers.
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
Ritchie.
Yes. And motion to advertise in the Gazette on the 17th.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Number 34 is another public hearing for ordinance number 4, amending chapter 213 titled property maintenance of the code of the city of Egg Harbor. Motion to open the public.
Make a motion.
Second.
All right, anybody from the public like to speak on this? Once, twice, motion to close,
Make a motion.
second,
Second.
motion to adopt.
Make a motion.
Second,
Second.
roll call.
Tanisi.
Yes.
Clark.
Yes.
Dash.
Yes.
Galloway.
Yes.
Heist.
Yes.
Hesse.
Yes.
Timbers.
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
Ritchie.
Yes, all right, number 35. So regarding number 35, before we get into it, at our code meeting last night, we reviewed this ordinance. It was advised by our code department employees about the units per totes per unit. Taking into consideration the terraces that have multi-family apartments on them. They suggested that we revisit this to possibly limit the totes where it's one trash and one recycle per unit. And if you have, say, 4 units up top, you're talking about eight totes in that one area. Maybe to possibly table this, revisit it, and put a limitation on how many totes would equal for them to have an actual trash dumpster or something of that sort, so we don't have 10, 20, 30 totes lining our terraces and creating, any kind of interference of travel and stuff like that.
Now, would the trucks still be able to access the terraces with the dumpsters?
That's
No,
why we
they
have to
they
look
would
at
have to get a different truck to come in for that, right?
Yeah, that's a problem because it has to be able to hook to the truck and dump it. And also,
That's loud.
let's recall the issues we have with a property on Philadelphia Avenue where there's no trash enclosure. And we do not have an ordinance, I believe, for do we have an ordinance for? But it's not new construction if it's a rental, if it's an established home.
Yeah.
So you would have to do something about that.
Yeah, because people just go.
Because there'll be more trash blowing all over with a dumpster, with a smaller dumpster than there would be in a lidded tote.
Yeah, I understand all aspects of this, and it was like one of those moments where, wow, that's a good point kind of thing. And then also the other point that was brought up as far as implementation of it. If it was an immediate roll-in kind of thing, So we came to a conclusion where immediately for any new applications of new rentals and by the end of 2025 for all current rentals. Instead of, because it'll be, we figured it would be a little disastrous to just say, all right, it's enacted, now everyone has to get these tickets. And it would be hard for the application process, the paperwork, so on and so forth for the department. Correct me if I'm wrong, right, Ken?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's exactly.
So, that was brought to our code. We can move forward. We can introduce this public hearing. I personally think we should table it to look into a little bit more. We may come back to this and say, you know what, it is what it is. Or, possible amendments could be made to it. So it's up to you guys. But that was the discussion that was had by our code department employees to bring to our attention at the meeting.
And Joe.
Can we just hold over the public hearing to the next meeting?
I'll do a motion to table.
Yeah.
That way we can look into the whole
Yeah.
logistics of the trucks. Getting
And-
back there.
And we can look into other towns, how they do it, because other towns,
I got one
Yeah.
question, because Lisa just brought up a good point. You said there's no ordinance for having these dumpsters covered?
Only on new builds. That's.
Not even like if you're remodeling or anything, there's no for your dumpster?
It's.
Because any city that we go in, we have to have our dumpsters covered. We have to have
There's nothing.
cones around the dumpster,
Yes.
everything has to.
Your dumpster ordinance or your enclosure ordinance includes a fire proof enclosure and all that, but it applies to new construction and anyone who comes to the board for land use approval. It's in the land use section.
Okay,
So it's not, you're not making everyone who has a pre-existing building go back and get a traffic.
I got you.
If they were to come in to fully rehab the building
Mhm.
and stuff like that, I don't believe.
because I know now, I mean, if our AC and units aren't closed in,
You gotta elevate.
we don't got our trash, enclosed, even if they're elevated.
Yeah.
In Ocean City and all the shore towns, they have to be enclosed to even get a CO.
So your ordinance right now, I don't believe is being interpreted to require for like a CCO.
I got you.
Business vacates and no one comes in.
Mhm.
My understanding is they're not requiring trash enclosures at
Mhm.
that stage. It's only at the board level.
Gotcha.
But in addition, there is no permits or permit fees required for dumpsters in this town either, which will be
Huh?
looked into. Yes.
I never got a permit. I
And
mean, never
then-
got a dumpster.
And
I
then
didn't
with an
know.
apartment complex where we did have an issue, with two of them now, that we have to reimburse the landlord or the owner because they want their own trash disposal system,
Mhm.
because they don't want to change the dumpster to refit it for our.
Mhm. Yeah,
Um,
because I know like Ocean City, Margate, pretty much all the shore towns, we pay a dumpster fee. And we also pay for it to be, if we had to put it on the street, because we can't get it on, we also have to pay a fee for it to be on the street. And any dumpsters that are on the street have to be covered in the tarp and be blocked with cones.
We have nothing.
Holy cow, I never knew.
So,
You have an ordinance that regulates refuse containers and dumpsters, but there's no fees. There's only a fine if you violate that section. There's no.
Got it.
so, I mean,
It's
it's gonna be
supposed to
looked
be a
into.
lidded
Okay.
dumpster.
Yep.
Sounds good.
So with all that being said, if anyone wants to make a motion to table this.
I make a motion to table second.
Not make a motion?
Yeah, right.
Council tabled.
Alright, so with that being said, would anybody like to make a motion to pay the bills?
Make a motion.
Second.
Roll call.
Antonisi? Yes. Clark?
Yes.
Dash?
Yes.
Galloway?
Yes.
Heist?
Yes.
Hussey?
Yes.
Timbers?
Yes.
Wright?
Yeah.
Richie?
Yes, Mayor, the floor is yours.
Just one thing, we did have a very nice egg hunt again this year, even though it was rained out the week before, but I would like to take time to remember and thank the Weiner family who used to own the 5 and 10. Mr. and Mrs. Weiner were our neighbors for 30 years. Mrs. Weiner just passed this past last year. But the family has, it's called the Sam Weiner Memorial Easter Egg Hunt. And, he was a very active, back in the day, active person in the community, and that kind of celebrates his memory and what his family did for Egg Harbor City. So, and also, thank you, Kim Hesse, for her involvement in Rotary and her involvement in coordinating the event. It was really wonderful. And of course, the police, which we did thank. That's a nice addition. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Councilwoman Heist.
I just want to remind everyone that the weather's starting to get nice. The kids are going to be out there riding their bikes to school. So please be diligent. When you come to a corner, make sure there's nobody shooting out on their bicycle before you take off. We want to go into the spring and the summer with no accidents. And that's.
Councilman Dash.
I'd like to thank our CFO Jody for doing such a great job with the proposed budget with a 0% increase again this year. I know it's not always easy and I appreciate all your hard work.
Councilman Wright.
Yeah, give me one second. I got a couple things. But like we were talking about at the budget meeting, about what the city gives the consignors. Jody just sent me our electric bill for the year. $13,568. At least the consignors $400 for the year to run a sports program. Just to let you guys know.
At the previous amount.
At the before, yeah, but just to kind of give you guys, is there a way that you can give me that a month breakdown?
I gave you like a spreadsheet.
It won't let me
I
open.
can print it out for you.
Yeah, can you
I
please?
can list each account and each amount for that account for the year.
For the
I'll print
month
it
though,
out.
can you say, because last year you were able to break it down by the month.
Yeah, it's by month.
Okay, because it won't let me open
Maybe
it.
just because it's on your phone, nobody
got it.
can see it.
Sounds
It
good.
does have each.
Hey, if you could print me one out, please, just so I can see. But just to let you know, that's, that's that's how expensive those darn lights are.
Yeah, they start filled out something throughout the year, throughout the summer track for like softball games, I guess you could say.
Yeah, but the key rec gets us, yeah, they lease that out. We don't see anything from that unless it has to do with the lights.
That's what I'm saying.
Most of the time, it's like the flag football, the adult flag football that's out there, that's all Saturday mornings and afternoons.
Right.
They don't use the lights. A church just came in and put in for a softball league, but that's gonna be during the day. That's not gonna be enough for the lights. It's just the men's league. That's really the only outside organization that uses the lights.
Mason, are they solar lights or no?
Lights been
Is there any, I mean, maybe that's somewhere that we should,
Well, we had talked about it when we sat down.
might be worthwhile.
The LEDs.
Yes,
I just got like the quote, so I haven't really had a chance.
yeah, I got you.
It's,
I couldn't imagine. I couldn't
I
imagine.
was like literally like, what?
Because I
I
know
can imagine.
the casinos changed those light bulbs out probably maybe 8 or 9 years ago. And I think each one of those bulbs were almost close to $500 a piece. It was almost 18 grand to change all those lights out. And then we had to rent an 80-foot boom to be able to even get up there to change them. And luckily the balusters were still good because otherwise it would have been a whole nother, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I had a feeling that's I just wanted to.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that maybe, I don't know, I was like hoping it would pay for itself at some point, but.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I don't understand, how
Yeah.
would that be? Like, it's supposed to be saving money, not.
Huh?
Yeah.
Day games only.
It's tough, yeah, I know, but the thing is like if we take our games and say we play Sunday. Then we barely make any money and pay the reps because the Sunday games kill you. You know what I mean? So it's like a catch-22, you know what I mean? You're like, I mean, we even eliminated to like basically cutting the practice fields down and only turning. Like we used to back in, had to turn all the lights on. Now we just turn certain lights on just so we can be able to try to save some money on the lights.
That might not matter once you.
Well, now that we know, we just found that out recently that, every 15th to the 15th, you hit that switch one time, it's $1,500.
That's the real problem. 'cause
That
I think
is.
your
Yes, big
kilowatt
time.
is $40 an hour.
Or yeah, no, that's not it's that kill switch that you hit that,
And that's why I bring up the leagues. If they're playing night games and they're hitting that switch,
yeah.
why are we?
Well, that's the thing is like, before, it was hard to prove. Like, nobody really knew because at the time we had our teenagers playing, we had, the softball league was playing, the men's league was playing, so everybody was using the lights, so there's no proof to say how much the lights were actually costing, so we kind of just broke it down and, went that way.
It's been.
Until recently, when Gary Hess and all them went out there and investigated and found out that from the 15th of each month, you hit that switch, there's a $1,500 charge right from the get-go before you even count.
That's your demand charge.
That's your demand charge.
Wow.
Listen, that guy, he wanted to pay, it's just, he was in shock too at the price.
Oh, no, 100%.
Yeah, like.
No, Belfry, I mean,
Yeah, like he wasn't.
Nah,
trying to avoid it,
but he was trying to say like, he thought that we were like trying to lie to him. I'm like, dude,
I mean,
what am I gonna do? Tell you the grown adults, like, yeah, here, you can pay, we'll pay for your lights, but I'm gonna tell the kids that we can't pay you for the uniforms this year.
Were we looking into like the rate that they had us at, like our classification or something like that?
I just said that to Jody 2 minutes ago, was, can you send me that so we can see if.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Properly, and if your demand charge is reasonable.
Cause I know those lights, they gotta been up there since the nineties. I think Celapino and the Leaks and all them donated those lights, if I remember correctly.
By Lloyd.
And the other thing I have is, just to let you guys know, next meeting, I'll be leaving here at 7:45 is the NFL draft. We do have, an Egg Harbor City Crusaders kid that's predicted to go in the late first round, the second round of the draft. So, if you hear me running down St. Louis or whatever, please don't write me a ticket.
Who is that? Is that 202?
Bo Melton. Yeah, yeah.
His brother?
Yeah, Bo Melton, who is actually playing for Green Bay Packers, that came through the Crusaders, his younger brother, Malachi Melton, Max Melton, is one of the top corners coming out of this NFL draft. So wish him nothing but the best. He's been training his tail off. He had one of the best scores at the combine. So hopefully the sky's the limit for the kid, and we'll see. Keep our fingers crossed. And that's it.
Thank you, sir. Councilman Timbers.
Nothing, thank you.
Councilwoman Antonisi.
Sunday, April 14th starts National Telecommunicators Week. Your telecommunicators are your 911 dispatchers. They're often referred to as the thin gold line. Your telecommunicators answer the phone in your times of crisis. They never really get the recognition they deserve. You never meet them after your crisis. So this week is dedicated to them. So I just wanted to recognize our telecommunicators who are through the Hamilton Township Police Department. I want to thank them for their service, and I want to recognize them and appreciate them for all that they do, and all of our communicators throughout, the country. That's all I have.
Thank you. Councilwoman Hessing.
I have nothing. Thank you.
Councilwoman Clark.
June 8th, the Crusaders are gonna be having their community carnival event. So we're looking for vendors, we're looking for organizations to hand out information as to resources that they provide here in Egg Harbor City. It's gonna be June 8th at the Crusaders Field from 4 to 7 p.m. And we'll be also having a movie night starting at 7:30 p.m. So if anyone is interested, please feel free to reach out to myself or Councilman Wright or Councilwoman Antonisi, and we'll get that information to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman Gallo.
I really have nothing other than to say, please send me information for the newsletter. And when you do, please make sure it's complete. Coming into my busy season at work, and I'm not going to have as much time to spend on it. So any help you could offer is appreciated. And nothing's going to get in there unless it's submitted. So please submit.
Thanks, Nanette.
I'll finish up before going to public, from the mayor all the way across this board up here to the front, sitting in front of us. First year I've been up here that we introduced a zero in the beginning of an introduction to a budget. So great job, everyone. Seriously. Very impressive. You guys work your butts off. Everyone up here works their butts off. So great job. Kudos to y'all. So with that, I'll open up the public comment. Anybody from the public? State your name and address, sir.
A couple things. Campground, they hired me to do accessible access to the building there, so I know he's not here to tell you, but they hired me to do that. The strike zone, just so you guys know, I filed an OSHA complaint because you can do that. So I know you're going the other way up routes to get it, but I filed an OSHA complaint, yes, I'm tired of looking at it.
Thank
So, trees down, are we allowed to cut trees down? Is there a word against that or something? Anybody know that?
Not yet.
Yeah.
Whereabouts, or do you want to cut a tree
If I
down?
want to, well, what if the developer comes in, he wants to take trees down, it's gonna cost him more money now?
Yep.
So we're gonna stifle development that's in the area that we need it?
No, they have to do that no,
It's a
no
state.
matter what town they
I
go
think it's
to.
not state, but I looked it up.
States required, the municipalities are technically required adopted by May 1st for actual plan.
Really?
Yes.
Because I saw where it's municipality.
Yeah, because municipalities.
Yeah, it's fine out there than that. The trees.
It's in the works, but it is mandated by the state.
Because I'm coming down real fast.
And the situation.
We're on the weekends and holidays.
Down campground, market, bed and breakfast, do we have an ordinance against bed and breakfast or anything here?
I don't believe so. We just.
Oh, you got that one, didn't we? Right on the same rules, wasn't it?
I didn't know, 'cause I didn't see it. It's a great opportunity.
Lisa would know, we saw right now.
There's a bus in there. Yeah.
Like a hotel or something. Into an house.
So last year or 2 years ago, there was an ordinance put together for Airbnb's regulations and monitoring and so on and so
Yeah,
forth, but it got short-term rentals,
That'd be nice, 'cause I mean,
And-
Renault's hurting.
but it got rejected.
Got rejected by who?
Majority of the council.
I don't agree with it either.
Because I mean, you can charge a city tax on that for everybody that stays there.
But the problem is enforcing it,
Right.
and also it's adding more rentals technically that we don't know about. We don't even know the rentals.
Wait, are you talking about bed and breakfast?
Yeah,
Or are you
bed and
talking
breakfast and
about?
Airbnb.
Yeah, I think
They're different.
Yeah, we're talking about
Short-term
short-term rentals and
Yeah.
he's talking about.
Yeah, because
bed and
you know,
breakfast.
Renault hurts, they don't have enough hotel space, and maybe not ideal if they build another hotel, they have approval for it.
They also came to us months ago about a proposal they have with camping.
They did that last year.
Yeah.
It's across the lake there.
Yeah,
They were talking
You
about
can take
that.
advantage of it.
Well, they're building hopefully building 9 units at
Yeah.
the spa right now as we speak. Oh, wait, maybe not as we speak,
They're
but hopefully
reconfiguring internally.
eventually,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, that's it.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Bob.
Anyone else from the public? Go ahead, Tracy.
Yes, please. Hey, Tracy, 314 Arago Street. Yes, I just wanna, say that the audio is really excellent, so thank you for doing the Comcast.
I can't hear you.
Yeah.
So it's not good on the other.
Said the audio is
Take it out on here on TV.
Yeah, so I can hear you, but you guys can't hear me, huh?
We can hear you.
No, we can hear you.
Now
Joe,
Tracy.
Yeah, and just thanks also for the 0 increase in the budget. That's huge. You guys are awesome. I'm just so impressed with all the work that you guys do on the board, all the sacrifices you make, the extra hours you put in that nobody knows about. So I just want to thank you again. Thanks so much for taking such good care of our city. That's all. Thanks.
Thank you. We
Thank you.
appreciate it. All right, anybody else from the public? Going once, twice, motion to adjourn?
Make a motion.
Second.
All in favor? See you on the 25th.
Yes. Yeah, his brother's doing, he's on 3 days.